So, good morning, everybody. Our topic for the day is employer to entrepreneur. What does it take to get into business? So, are you excited about it? Okay, so while you collect your thoughts, the agenda for today is the changing business landscape, employee to entrepreneur, and what next. So, as all of us are aware, there's a lot which is changing in our business. In year 2000, we had what is called as the brick and mortar world. We used to conduct business in reality. We used to shake hands to conduct business. By 2015, internet had kind of established, and we had a lot of things which went online. And we call this as the digital world. By 2022, digital world became connected world. And we got into the fangs of the digital world. So Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google. And by 2023, the language itself has changed. AI, ML, AR, VR, metaverse, IoT, blockchain, and a lot more. So we are in these times where things have started changing in a matter of months, in a matter of weeks. And I think we're not very far away when they'll start happening in days as well. So what has changed? The speed of business has changed. The speed at which changes used to happen has changed. And what's behind that is artificial intelligence, big data. There's a lot of analytics which is going on. The man-machine interface has changed. So advanced manufacturing robotics, that's changing the way manufacturing happens today. Automation changes the way business is conducted. Today, we are in real sense a data-driven economy. There's a lot happening in the analytics space, blockchain, cybersecurity, and too much else which we're not even speaking about. The impact is there is no cover up because data speaks in black and white. Technology is the backbone and internet is the karmbhumi. So it's time to transform or perish because old ways don't work anymore. It's time to unlearn your ABC. So this is how we grew up the ABC with the ABC, right? A for apple, B for ball, C for cat. And today A is artificial intelligence, B is blockchain, C is climate change, D is data, which is big data and cloud, E is ESG, F is fintech, Facebook, G is gaming and Google, H is hashtag, I is IoT, Internet of Things, Instagram, J is JRE, jQuery, JSON, and Geo. K is Kindle, L is LGBTQIA+++, and LinkedIn. And like this, we can continue up to Z. In terms of the risks, 56% of businesses, they collapse because they don't get their marketing right. Because they don't get their communication to their consumers right. 18% businesses fail because they don't have appropriate teams or they don't know how to manage teams. Only 16% businesses fail because they don't have enough resources, enough money. They've got cash flow problems. And 10% of them fail because of other reasons, which could be technology, which could be operations, which could be legal, which could be anything else. So it's time to transform or perish. So it is appropriate to say that platforms have dukandars for breakfast. So platforms have mom and pop stores for breakfast. So whether it is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, or Google, they are growing at the expense of smaller businesses which have been there for long. New world, new business models. Blinkit, Geo, UPI, Policy Bazaar, all these have created a dent in the market by conducting business as it never used to be conducted earlier. So it's appropriate to say that dhanda or banda badal gaye hain. The business and people have changed. So if that has changed, our market has changed, our messaging needs to change. The medium which we used to use has to change. So it's appropriate to say, badlo ya chal do, transform or perish. So the fact that you're here, you are here because you are standing for badlo, you are standing for transformation. And that's what we're going to talk today. Here's a little bit about me. I'm Atul. This is how I look like. I spent around 20 years in the corporate space, having worked in the public sector, private sector, with MSMEs, with startups, technology companies, all of them. And then sometime in 2014, I thought that I wanted to be a part of the solution for small businesses rather than being a part of the challenge. So that is how eGrowth was conceived, and we've been building on it ever since. I picked up some awards along the journey. I became an electronics engineer from Mumbai University. I did my master's from IGNOU, and I also did a program in competitive marketing from IIM Bangalore. I'm on the advisory board of MSME Bharat Manch. I'm the chapter director for Startup Grind Gurgaon. I'm a charter member with TIE Delhi NCR. I'm also an author of 2 books, Golf, Mastering Business Success, and Opportunity, The Journey from U to Yes. To get connected with businesses, I've traveled around 80,000 kilometers across the country, getting to know how business happens in reality. There are more than 10,000 people who participated in my masterclasses till date. More than 1,500 people have participated in my programs. More than 100 of them have participated in my boot camps and blueprints. And I've been a part of the implementation journey of more than 20 businesses till date. So here we are. Our topic for the day is employee to entrepreneur. Kya baat hai? So I invite you to share, what do you understand by employee to entrepreneur, and why is it that we should be talking about it? So you can please unmute and share. Yeah. So one of you please unmute and share.
Hello, Atul.
Yeah,
what do you like? What do you want to just share? Can you just give me one example?
So what do you understand by employee to entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
And why do you think it is important?
Yeah. Okay. So initially, like in my case, like I'm an employee.
Yeah.
So when you are an employee, you get to know from my individual perspective how a company runs.
Absolutely.
How the systems are there, how the processes are there, and as an employee, you are very in a safe zone. You don't have, I don't have any risks in as a personal, except for my time.
Right.
But when if I want to transfer myself to an employer, so the risks are more. I need not. I should also think about what happens to my employees' lives. Also, I should be more responsible in each and every decision.
Perfect. So all of a sudden, your scope has increased.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. Employer, he only, he contributes as an employee. We also contribute a little bit, but as an employer, we contribute much more to the economy. Without employer, there is nothing. Economy is not there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So Akhilesh, Sakshi, Manish, would you like to share something? What do you understand by employee to entrepreneur, E2E?
So earlier I was working as a employee, so when I was working in Goldman Sachs, and I feel like, when you work as an employee, you have less accountability and you just have given a work. Like for example, my case, like according to me, it's just I feel that you're given a work and you do a certain work. But as an entrepreneurship, what Ajit sir said, that your scope get enhanced, and uh, you don't have to have a limited set of responsibilities, but you have a lot of things to understand, a lot of new things to learn as well. Like as an employee, it's just one task to perform, or you have managers above you to take your responsibility or accountability. But as an employee, you're the boss of your own business, and a lot of things, like you have to understand the marketing as well, you have to understand the HR also, you have to understand the HR
Fantastic.
also, you have to get into sales as well, domain.
Absolutely. So you can't let things off on somebody else, right? Okay. So Akhilesh, you want to share something? Manish, you have something to share?
So, experience nahi hai, but as per the entrepreneurship, we need to take care of all the component of business. You have to gather the say business लाना है आपको,
Yeah.
perform करना है, execute करना है. You have to deliver the promises. After that, you have to collect the money, all those things, and again you are going to the market and get the job. Everything all the component of the business you have to do yourself. I think in case of employees, as rightly said, कि कोई एक part of आपके हाथ में होता है, you have to perform, you have excellent, and you make the things repeat and repeat. Might be possible कि these are the two differences as well.
Awesome. So one thing is clear, that the entire accountability lies with the entrepreneur, with the owner. This is a major shift from being an employee to entrepreneur, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Let's build further on this. So Manish, you have something to share, or should we go on?
Continue, sir.
All right, Ji, thank you. So our promises for today is, what does it take to run a business? State change from inertia to motion. Shift in mindset from left to right. We'll talk more about what is left and what is right. The challenges faced to run a business. So now my question to you is, are you really being a business owner? You can write in the chat box also, yes, no, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Others?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so Ajish says no and Sakshi says no. All right, so we've got a 50-50 kind of a thing right now. So have you heard of something called as cash flow quadrant? Being CAs, I'm sure most of you have, right? So cash flow quadrant says that people can be in either of the four, sorry, it's not cash flow quadrant, it is some other quadrant, ESBI quadrant, sorry. ESBI. So you can be either an employee, a self-employed, a business owner, or an investor. So these are the four states in which a person can be. So introducing the leverage quadrant. It is drawn from the ESBI quadrant. We are distinguishing what the four states are, and then we'll say what is the difference between the left hand side and the right hand side. So E is employee, they are active and they draw salary. S are self-employed or solopreneurs that we call them. For them, their earning is linear. जितना वो टाइम डालते हैं उतना उनको पैसा मिलता है. And their earning, they would generally call that as the contract value. Then we have B, the business owners. They leverage their resources and the earning of the business is called turnover. And then we have investors. They have passive income and what they earn is called as dividend. So as we see, 4 of them speak different languages. The employee speaks the language of salary. The self-employed speaks the language of contracts. Business owner is concerned about turnover. And the investor is looking at dividend. So 3 different mindsets, 3 different engagements. Sorry, 4 different engagements. People on the left-hand side, so more than 90% of the people on this planet are on the left-hand side. They're either employees or self-employed. Between them, they control less than 10% of the wealth. Actually, it is just around 3% of the wealth. They work alone and they trade their time for money. Whereas on the right-hand side, there are less than 10% people on this planet who control more than 90% of the wealth out there. And they leverage their strengths, their resources, and they use a system. So now talking about the B quadrant, or I call that as the leverage quadrant. Leverage quadrant, these people, they have concrete action plans. They know what to leverage, how much to leverage. They've got structures and systems to do all this. This is what makes them the leverage quadrant. All right. So to give you an example of one company, I'm sure all of you have heard about Chaos. They are a leverage quadrant player. They've got an action plan. In the past 11 years, they have opened more than 200 outlets. In these outlets, we think that they are selling tea, but they create experiences for us. So they're selling experience to us. Last round of investment that they got was almost a year back, and they raised 53 million US dollars. The leverage so far has been they have raised $93.5 million till date. That's almost $100 million from 10 investors and 7 funding rounds. This is where they've leveraged the number of outlets they've got. They've leveraged the technology they've put in. They leverage the supply chain. And of course, the number of people who come to Chaos outlets to have tea every day. So they use systems and structures for this. They've got a franchise model. They use technology and they use supply chain. All these are systems which work independently. So as a leverage quadrant player, we need to create a business of this kind, which works independent of us, not because of us. So now my question once again to you is, are you an employee, self-employed business owner, or an investor? Haji, you may unmute and share if you are a business owner or not. Haji, Akhilesh ji.
Sir, just make a startup by the name of Mera Cashier.
Right.
think I'm business owner at that time and invested some point of, but most of time I'm a chartered accountant and consultant. 90% self-employed.
Absolutely. Right. So while we like to be called as a business owner, we are operating as a self-employed guy.
Exactly. Exactly. That is wonderful statement.
So I just want to distinguish this. That is why I went through these slides, so that we're able to distinguish for ourselves. हम इस धोखे में ना रहें कि जी हम बिजनेस ओनर हैं, हम टाटा हैं, बिरला हैं, अंबानी अडानी हैं, नहीं है, लेकिन हम बन सकते हैं. We can become one of them. That's what we're going to talk about today. So what are the questions that you have? At least I have some questions, 2 questions for you. So what is a job for you? Ajish, you are in a job, right? So what is a job for you?
Yeah, like I'm into software testing.
Right.
So I ensure that my job is to ensure that software release goes without any defects. That is my job.
Perfect. So the job for you is a set of tasks, and for you it is important to complete those tasks in time or with minimal delay, with maximum satisfaction, right?
Yes.
And what is an entrepreneurship for you?
Is this question for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's for everybody, but right
Okay.
now you, because you spoke about the job piece.
Yeah. So entrepreneurship for me is like more of actually I feel like it is more of a freedom to perform. In a job, I have to log in at particular time. I have to log out. But in an entrepreneurship, it's 24 hours. I understand, but a set of freedom and your passion. Now, if it turns into a entrepreneurship, it's like there's nothing more than that.
Beautiful. So entrepreneurship is all about freedom and about passion. Great. So Akhilesh and Manish, for you, what is entrepreneurship? And even Sakshi.
More about freedom and doing the
Okay.
things. Yeah.
So it is the freedom in entrepreneurship which excites you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Freedom as well as time management. Yeah, freedom is perfect word.
Right. Great. Sakshi, you were saying something.
Okay, so I feel the complete opposite. Like, when you are into entrepreneurship, I feel, you don't have that. You do have the benefit of flexibility and freedom, but you have it after a later stage. Like in the initial stage, you really have to, hustle to build a system. Like, for example, job is something that you perform a task and you get paid money for it. Like you're getting salary for it, or you're getting money in return. But entrepreneurship for me is that you've built a system, you've built a strategy, and you've built a whole process. Once it's done, then you can leave that system, and then also you'll earn the money from him. Like the way you said na ki hum Ambani, Tata, Birla nahi hai, so they are not earning money, somebody else are earning for them. So it's basically they've created the system and now people are earning from them. So I guess that's what entrepreneurship is for
So
me.
for you, entrepreneurship is all about creating those systems which work in an autonomous manner.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Thank you. Manish, anything for you?
He's not there, so.
He's not there. All right. Okay, so let me take you through a story of 3 bricklayers. You may have heard of it in the past. So once there were 3 bricklayers And the person, he asked each one of them, what are you doing? The first one said, दिखाई नहीं देता, ईंटें लगा रहा हूं. The second one said, I am making a wall. And the third one said that I am making a temple, which will be there for thousands of years. So this is how it appears. Okay, the first one said, I'm laying bricks. Second one said, I'm making a wall. The third one said, I'm building a temple. So what, according to you, is the attitude of these people? Hello?
Yeah, as rightly in that slide, the first one is like, now I'm just doing for the sake of doing. Second,
Right.
I just want to make my living, so
Yeah.
I'm doing. Third one, I want to do it because of some goal which I have set for myself, and it will, when I'm not there, it can be used by other people also.
Absolutely. Right. So the third person, he is actually driven. Second one is surviving. The first one is also surviving, but he is also frustrated. In terms of the job, the first one is doing just another activity. For him, laying bricks, or tomorrow he might be breaking stones, does not make any difference. The second one is doing a job, doing a work, a task. For third one, it is a vocation. So there's a lot of passion and love involved in it. Their view of what they are doing, the first one has a distorted view. He doesn't really know what is this wall going to do, where will this wall be, what is the purpose of this wall, nothing. He's least bothered. The second one has a limited view. Yes, this is a wall which is coming up. The third one, he has the big picture in his mind. So the last piece here, the future, that is the most interesting piece. The future of the first guy is he'll continue to be a laborer. He will continue to be an employee, wherein somebody else directs him to do this, that, or whatsoever. He may start earning slightly more, but broadly he'll continue to do similar stuffs or tasks. The second one, the future, is that he will, sooner or later, he'll become self-employed. He may become a freelancer, he may become a contractor, but he will have a limited kind of an entrepreneurship view. Maybe he'll master making walls and he'll be the wall master. And the third one, who had the largest view, there's a great possibility that he'll become an entrepreneur. Does that make sense?
Yes. Third one is already an entrepreneur, correct?
No, he's still making a wall. He's still laying bricks.
Oh, okay.
Right? Three of them, that is the premise. Three of them are bricklayers. But based on their attitude, the manner in which they are engaging, the likely future of this person is that of an entrepreneur, right? Wherein he runs his own enterprise. Now, what are the prerequisites to be an entrepreneur? So the decision to become an entrepreneur is deeply personal and can be influenced by a combination of factors. And here's a list of the probable, or at least some of the factors. Smart work. I'm not saying hard work. I'm saying smart work. Willingness to take risks. It's not about taking risks. It is about willingness to take risks. It's discipline. desire to achieve. I want to go somewhere. I want to reach somewhere. I want to achieve something. Persistence. Something does not work this way, do something else, change the tools, put in more effort, whatsoever. But persistence, be at it. Strong work ethics, not really getting into shortcuts here and there. Resilience in the face of challenges. Commitment to learning and growth. So willing to grow every day, willing to learn something new every day. These are some of the prerequisites of being an entrepreneur. Now let us look at what entrepreneurship is not. Entrepreneurship is not a cakewalk. It's not a given thing that this is how things will happen and they will happen in an autonomous manner on the day one. You will have to put those systems and structures in place which work independent of you. But unless you have put those structures in place, they will not work. It's not a bed of roses. It's not that life serves it to you in a platter. It's not always comfortable. It's not about big cars. It's not about fat checks. It's not about luxurious holidays, sorry. It's all about dedication and a lot more. So now let us look at what are the motivations. So before I get into this, I would like to ask you, considering that you are either in a job or you are in an entrepreneurship, so what are your motivations to get into a business or the business that you're already running?
Create a legacy.
Okay. What else?
So to solve some problem,
Solve
real
some problem. Okay. What else?
to contribute to the economy.
So legacy, contribution, problem solving. What else? What else? See, these are the right answers. So the first motivation is discontent with the existing job, with the structure in which you're already functioning. Being able to see an opportunity, recognizing an opportunity and going after it. The intention to take up challenges and grow faster than an employee, being an employee. Work-life balance. You spoke about the freedom that you get. This freedom is all about utilizing that time with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends, or maybe doing something else, which is leisure for you. So work-life balance is one of the motivations of getting into entrepreneurship. Financial potential. The potential of making money is more as an entrepreneur than as an employee. Independence. I'm my own king. I can use my time as and when I want, howsoever I want. But all these motivations, they come from survival. They come from living a better life. They come from surviving in a life in a better fashion. Now let us look at another perspective, which is possibility, sambhavna. Something larger is possible. Being driven. So passion and vision. Right? Innovation and creativity. Problem solving. desire for impact, legacy building. This is what you said, right, Ajish?
Yes, sir.
And then fulfillment of certain dreams. There is certain dreams which are there in your mind. So these are some of the motivations why you would want to get into business, or you are already into business. While the ones on the left-hand side, they are more coming from the survival, the number two kind of a bricklayer. The one on the right-hand side, the possibility, they are the kind of things what a number three would look at. All right. Now let us look at the skill set and the mindset. What is the kind of skill set that you would need to have? Network building, consistently speaking with more and more people on an everyday basis to expand your network. They could be your partners, they could be your customers, they could become your suppliers, they could become your vendors, whatsoever. But building a network is definitely an important skill set. Second is financial literacy. How are you making money? How much money are you making? How much more you need to make? So to be able to read all those charts and prepare those charts, it is important. See, as an entrepreneur, you need not be a master in financial piece, but you definitely need the bare minimum things to understand how the statements work. What does a balance sheet look like? Right? Market awareness. What all is happening in the market? Communication skills, project management, risk management, value creation, customer-centric approach, side projects or ventures. So to be able to create multiple ventures at one time and nurture them simultaneously. Mentorship, it's about letting somebody else guide you. It's about data analysis. So these are some of the skills which you need to cultivate. Right? So these are some things which are visible, which we can see, which we can experience, which can be quantified. Then there are another set of, we will not really call them as skill sets, but they are mindsets. These are inherent. You cannot see them. You cannot click a photograph of them. So continuous learning. Whenever you're speaking to somebody, speak with an intention. How do you grow? How do you get to know more about his or her industry? Entrepreneurial mindset. Whatsoever I do needs to make money, needs to have a positive impact, needs to contribute something to humankind. That is entrepreneurial mindset. Leadership skills. I have people in my business and I need to feed them. Right? Then we talk about critical thinking. You got to be thinking on your toes or on your own. You cannot wait for somebody else. So if you're in a soup, at that point in time, you will not wait for a third person to come. Patience and persistence. Feedback seeking. Adaptability. Ethical considerations. Collaboration. Being curious. What is happening? Why is it happening? What causes this to happen? All the stuff. And then acknowledgement of the team, acknowledgement of the extended team, acknowledging yourself for causing certain things to happen. Right? So these are the mindset or the inherent pieces to an entrepreneur. And another piece is let go. You need not keep on holding on to certain things. Don't hold on to grudge. That is going to do more disservice to you than service. So this is what an entrepreneur's iceberg looks like. While what we see on the top, what we see for Ambani, Adani, Tata, Birla is what is visible to the world. That is the success. Right? But for this success to be visible, there is a lot which goes underneath. Dedication, hard work, good habits, disappointment, sacrifice, failure, persistence. All this goes inside. So does this make sense? As of now, what have you got? Is it getting too heavy? Is it something you already know?
Just mindset, skill set, different cottons and all.
Yeah. So have you looked at it like this in the past?
Not really.
Not really, isn't it? Okay, so why do businesses exist in the first place? The businesses exist to create and deliver value. And as businesses deliver value, they make money. They don't exist only to make money. They exist to make money by delivering value. Now, create and deliver value for whom? Create and deliver value for customer. So customer is one of the stakeholders in the business. Then you got the investors, shareholders, funding agencies, owners. So these are the people who have invested their time, energy, and money into the business. And then there is another set of people who are the employees. These are the ones who are actually doing the work which gets delivered as value to the customer. Suppliers, community at large, government, you pay taxes, right? So government, partners and collaborators, right? So as a business, so far we had been thinking that we are delivering value only to the customer. There are so many stakeholders. As an employee, whatsoever we are creating, whatsoever we are doing for two purposes. One is the customer should be happy, I should get my salary. Whereas as an entrepreneur, all of a sudden there are so many stakeholders and you got to take care of all of them. Now let us look at the leaky bucket that your business is. So first tell me, do you agree that your business is a leaky bucket? There are a lot of leakages which are happening in your business.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Akhilesh and Ajish.
Yes, sir. Lot of leakage, inventory. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first and foremost, there is a leakage of customers. Customers who were buying from you don't buy from you anymore for some reason. Value creation and delivery, that itself is a leakage. You're not creating enough value. You're not delivering. You may be creating a lot of value. You're not delivering it. That is another leakage. Dealers and distributors. Dealers and distributors are your extended hands. They may get discontented with you and leave, or may not be doing as much as they possibly can. You may be a second choice, third choice for them. Customer service. So do we have a feedback mechanism wherein we can capture why people leave, whether they're customers or partners or whosoever? That's another leaky piece, right? Leakage. Resources. We put in a lot of money into advertisements and so many other things. Are those giving the results they were supposed to give? Infrastructure. We've created an infrastructure for 1,000 cars and we are manufacturing only 20 cars. Then the remaining infrastructure that is being wasted. That's another leakage. Supply chain. There may be rejections which are coming back. Products may not be reaching in time. Then there is leakage in revenue. We're not collecting as much revenue when it is due to us. There is leakage in partners and also in input costs and availability of credit and also marketing. Right? So these are some of the aspects where you are losing either time, energy, or money. Now let us see what does the business with leakages look like. So you start a business based on the experience that you have or some new trend that you see in the market, or maybe you got a pink slip. So you have some idea of the business, you don't have the complete idea of the business, and you already into it. Then comes the growth stage where you start selling. You have the first set of customers, then your customers start coming back to you, you form a company, all that piece. You're growing, so you're creating new customers every day. Are you retaining your customers? Are your customers coming back to you? Are new customers coming to you without a lot of investment in advertisement? Is there a recall value for your business which is happening? All this is something which you must look at, especially during the growth phase. And then is the struggle. Receivables are mounting. I told you that you paid somebody, you've not collected enough money. You don't have enough good manpower. You've not trained enough of them. Working capital, you all of a sudden you start getting more orders, but you don't have enough money to buy the inputs. So your working capital that is strained. Margins are getting thin. Right? So what does a business with leakages look like? There is incremental revenue. Revenue is growing, but very slow. Characteristics, the scalable product here is time and skill for money. There is incremental growth, which is either linear or in batches. There is straightforward engagement with one or two dimensions. And then there are leakages, loss of opportunities, which is because of delayed follow-up, loss of revenue due to delayed payments, and also leakage due to discount. The customer is asking for discount because maybe the customer does not have enough faith in us. So there's an input, little or no process, and there is an output. The stakeholders are customer, seller, and an agent. That's about it. So very straightforward kind of an engagement. So are you able to relate to this kind of a business in your case? Akhilesh, Sakshi, does this happen with you? Ajish is yet to start the business, so that's why I'm asking you guys. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So is this how it is happening for you in your business, or is this how you can see that it might happen?
Yeah. I have a question. Can you please explain what is the leakage in marketing? Because that was also a point in leakage.
So leakage in marketing, let us say that, let us say we are posting Facebook ads. In that Facebook ads, if we have not optimized the call to action, do you think we will get appropriate number of leads?
No.
Or let us say there are leads, 12 leads you've got, and your executive who's managing your Facebook account, he gives you the leads 1 day later. By that time, the lead has already gone cold. You call them up and they say, "Oh, I don't remember. I must have just clicked it." Does that happen?
Yeah. Thank you.
So these are leakages. You've put in the money, you've put in the time, you've put in the energy, you've done all what is required. But you've not put the exact structure in place so that you're able to reap it. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So now let us look at 7 tips for a smooth transition from employee to employer. Interested?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. So the first one is the good time to switch from employee to entrepreneur is when you have an experience of around 7 to 10 years. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this is the duration in which you are mature enough, you've been working for some time, and you are able to see the larger picture. If you go beyond this, then you start rusting. You get used to the way in which business happens. Below this, depending on your ability to grasp things or your previous experience, below this, you may not have captured all the nuances of, or if not all, many of the nuances of running a business. The second tip is be besharam and do sales. You can outsource everything in the business. Sales is one thing which you must not. As an entrepreneur, as the founder, as the owner of the business, you should consistently spend time doing actual sales. With that, you remain connected to the market. You remain listening to what is happening in the market. What do they need? And getting some extra dollars, that is the plus point. That is an additional advantage. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, I can relate with it. So, like in the very start, I used to like hate sales and it was awkward. But then soon I realized it was the only revenue generating part of the business. And you really need to be Besharam or be, somebody who should be like, you cannot leave sales for a part to anybody. You can build system for HR, marketing, and a lot of stuff. But sales is something which an entrepreneur should do.
Right. So sales is something you need not do all the sales all the time, but you should be hands-on as far as sales is concerned. And if you are not hands-on on the sales, I will recommend that please don't make that jump. Continue to be an employee. Okay, so if you think you cannot do sales, sales is not what you want to do, sales is not something exciting for you, don't make the switch. Third piece is outsource, outsource, outsource. See, for everything that you do in the business, you would have somebody who is a specialist. And a work that the specialist does will always give more dividends. So I'll tell you, I'll give you a story. So I was speaking to Deep Kalra. He is the founder of Make My Trip. So one of the things that he had to share was when it came to building the technology stack for Make My Trip, they had the choice to build everything in-house. But then at that point in time, not many people knew how to build technology in-house. And within that, very few people knew the domain knowledge, how the business happens. So here they needed somebody who knows the business, who has the domain knowledge, and who also has the technology knowledge. So he came across a Canadian person, I am forgetting his name, who was the best in this space in the world. He would have been one of the most expensive resources on the planet at that point in time. So Deep set up an appointment with this person and they met up in New York. This meeting was supposed to last maybe 35-40 minutes and it went into a number of hours. So he engaged this person as a consultant, and later on this person has been on the board of the company, so that Make My Trip is always ahead of the game as far as technology is concerned. So don't get bogged down that I have to do everything myself. I want to do it in-house. Don't do it. Ensure that you have the domain knowledge and you're able to get somebody else to do it. Believe you me, you will make more money for every dollar that you spend. Third piece, play on your strengths. Okay. When you're playing on your strength, you are in a comfortable frame of mind. You are able to take bigger risks. You are able to see the bigger picture. You are able to do bigger things, which is not the case the other way around. If you're not playing on your strengths, then you will be bogged down. You will be limited. You will be controlled. Okay. Next one is be the matador. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. What this means is that you will always have something or the other which is in the firefighting mode. Don't take those things head on. Don't take the bull by the horn. As the bull comes charging to you, just shift slightly and let the bull go wherever it goes. In doing so, you will save yourself of injury, fatigue, loss of resources, and a lot more. So if you like this, please write in the chat box, be the matador. M-A-T-A-D-O-R. Don't take the bull by the horn. Best case scenario, if you take the bull by the horn, you will get one medal or a certificate, but that will not cook rice at home. All right. Next one is making things work. Strike a balance between making things work and working on things which work. You will always have things which are working themselves. You put in more effort in these things which are already working, you will get better results. If you put more effort in trying to make things work, you will get drained. So where you see that things are not working and you are not the best person, you are not operating from your strength, get somebody else to do it. So strike a balance between making things work and working on things which work. Make sense? Then the next one is live in 4D. Delete, delegate, defer, or do it. Preferably don't do anything. And how can you manage that? First is there is something which does not need your attention, delete it. It does not need anybody's attention, delete it. Second is there is something that you can get somebody else to do, delegate it. So it has landed in your mailbox, hand it over to somebody else so that they do it. Third is something that you have to do, but that is not urgent. You can do that at the end of the day, at the end of the week. Defer it. So prioritize things. And if you are not able to delete it, you are not able to delegate it, you are not able to defer it, finally do it. It takes much less time to do something than to not do it. If this is something which is interesting for you, please write in the chat box 4D. All right. So you have to be prudent enough to know what D to use. Don't start from A, start from D. Okay. So these were the 7 tips. Let me just go back to them once again. The first one is good time to switch is 7 to 10 years experience. Be besharam, do sales. Even if you don't have to do sales, you've got an efficient sales team, do sales once in a week so that your edge is sharp. Outsource, outsource, outsource. Play to your strengths. Be the matador. Don't take the bull by the horn. Making things work. So strike a balance between making things work and working on things which work. Don't get bogged down by working on things which don't work. In that process, things which are working, even they will get lost. And live in 4D. So now there are tips for a lifetime. The first one is, if you can do something about it, do it. Don't worry. Why worry? If you cannot do anything about it, then again, why worry? So whether you are able to do something or you are not able to do something, don't worry. Worry should be the last thing in your life. And mauj kar, rose kar. Strike a balance between mauj and khoj. It's important that you do fun while you are creating your business. If you are doing a business and you are not having fun, then please go back to the job. But wherever you are, please have fun. Doing a lot of research, doing a lot of analysis, that will not take you anywhere. All right. So now you've got 2 choices. Before we get into 2 choices, what opened up for you so far? Has it been worthwhile?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Akhilesh, anything for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What?
Sales is a major point. We have to do the sales every week.
Right.
And 4D, that delete, do it, defer it. That is great. That is quite it.
Beautiful. Sakshi, how about you?
Yeah, so I feel what opened up for me was that a mixture of skill set and mindset is very important from being an employee to an entrepreneur. So having that skills, but instead that mindsets is very important.
Beautiful. All right, so let's go further. So now you've got two choices. One is to do the business the way you've been doing, the business by chance, right? Wherein you inherit it, or you have some experience, you find a new trend, or you get a pink slip, and then you start your business. Then you get into growth of your business, set up the company, get your first set of customers, and then you continue with sale every day. And then eventually you end up in struggle because you're not making enough money. Receivables keep on mounting. You have challenges with manpower. Working capital remains an issue. Margins keep on becoming thin. And your business is in the state of a leaky bucket. There are so many holes that you are not able to plug them. You got a choice to continue like this or to start a business which is something like this. Or you can have a business by design, wherein you create a bucket which is designed well, and designed well while you are starting the business. You're not plugging the holes later on. It is driven by a great future. Then you get on to developing the business to build momentum, wherein you see regular growth and it is driven by present. And then you look at diversifying because it is your investment, right? So you monetize it as the business becomes mature and you become, the business goes into a dominant stage. Okay. So make the great shift from speaking to listening. Listen to your customer, expenditure to investments, invest in your customer, my way or highway to customer's way. So co-create with your customer. And always remember, it is the customer who pays your bills. So make the great shift where you are oriented towards the customer, because the customer is the most important visitor in your business. Design brings workability, it also brings the state change. So are you committed for a state change? If yes, write in the chat box, yes. Okay, so we've got 2 responses. 3 responses, fantastic. So if you are committed for a state change, the next slides are for you. This is the next batch of Transform Your Business, which is starting in September. The curriculum, it will have 5 sessions. Okay. The first one is the New World Order. The second one is Business Transformation Paradigm. Third is Design Your Business. Fourth is Scale Up Your Business. And fifth one is the Game Changers Mindset. So what will be covered in each one of them is this. In the New World Order, we'll cover the changing dynamics in the business. So today we spent around 5 to 7 minutes on it. We dig deeper, then you will realize what are the various factors which are impacting your business. What does the 21st century business look like? The business in 21st century is way different from how it used to happen earlier. And we are already, so 1/4 of the century is almost over now. And things are becoming more and more interesting every day. Futuristic business design principles, donut economics, fourth industrial revolution, how is that shaping up and how will that impact the business, or how is it already impacting the business? the India story or the Bharat story. Now that the world is looking at an alternate for China for manufacturing, what piece of the new puzzle will India solve? How much of that will come to India? And how much of that you want to capture? That's up to you. The second one is the business transformation paradigm. This is where we take you through a detailed gap analysis in your business model. We'll list the leakages in your business, gaps in your business model, misfires in your value proposition. Drop the items that drain your resources. So list the items which you need to drop. Activate your dead network. Become a leverage quadrant player. So we will look at the gaps in your business, things which you can do and you are not doing. We'll nudge you to do those. And we nudge you to leverage the resources that you have. This is in the business transformation paradigm. Now that you've seen the gaps in your business, the next thing is, how do you design your business? So that is the third module. Design your business. You start with developing the future. Then how do you work on the product design? Then the market where you are going to serve. And how are you going to deliver all this? The game design for this. So this entire thing will be covered in Design Your Business. Once you've designed your business, the next logical thing is to build momentum. Increase the number of business cycles in your business. From annual to quarterly, quarterly to monthly, from monthly to weekly, from weekly to daily. So that your turns increase, business turns, and you make more money. The 5 elements will work here are sales, collaboration, organization. What kind of an organization do you need to have such that you are able to capture more sales in an ongoing fashion? Revenue, excellence. So this is what we will cover in this module. And then comes the game changers mindset. This is what goes beneath, what you cannot see. So in the iceberg, there were certain things of the business which we were able to see. And there was a lot go. So this is 75% of the iceberg is not visible to the naked eye. That is what the game changers mindset is. What goes into the mindset of the people who raise great businesses. Okay. So abundance mindset, game-changing innovation, motivating purpose and values, stretching the goals, choiceful strategies, unique core strengths, developing those core strengths so that we remain a market leader, enabling structures, consistent and reliable systems, courageous and connected culture, inspiring leadership. All this goes in a game changers mindset. All right. So these are the 5 modules which we'll cover. On top of it, there will be bonus topics. So 7 laws of velocity, the economics angle, a microsurgery of your product offering, theory of constraints, abundance mindset. The high points of this entire program are: identify the gaps in your business, how to plug these gaps, identify and go beyond your stops, 5 views of the global business scene, 12 layers of the product design, 11 pieces of the market opportunity, 7 laws of velocity in business, 7 steps to build momentum in your business. Some of the models and tools that we'll be using: game design methodology, leverage model, 4 stages, design thinking, customer maturity model, be, do, have model, step model, SWOT analysis, Ikigai, the reason for existence, the leverage quadrant. So do you think these will help you in building a great business? If yes, write in the chat box, yes. Okay. Okay. So at the end, everything counts and you cannot leave nothing to a chance. See, you are the one who is accountable for the entire business. So you got to see what else you need to bring into your business. So here are some of our participants from the previous programs. So Mr. Mithilesh Jha, he's into international logistics. What he said was, we clearly understand our strength areas now. We are able to emphasize more on planning before execution to reduce mistakes. We're able to systematize our process. Sharda and Krishna, they're into fashion accessories. So what they have to say is that this was a step-by-step, systematic and scientific approach. In the first 2 weeks itself, they closed a major order. All right. Then we've got Dr. Satya Gupta, who is also known as NGN Guru, which is Next Generation Networks Guru. So he says this was a different and more value for money. This is based on real life experiences. And it is backed by empirical wisdom. Right? Now let us look at what all will be covered in the program. The New World Order, business transformation paradigm, design your business, scale up your business, game changers mindset. And on top of it, there will be bonus topics. This entire thing will be available to you at 15,000 rupees. Okay. You can make the payment to me through UPI or through Paytm on 9899116054. And for today, there is a special offer. So instead of 15,000 rupees, you will be paying 12,000 rupees less 1 rupee. So 11,999 rupees. So go ahead and block your seat right away. Okay, so to block your seat, all what you have to do is pay just 1,000 rupees right now and remaining in a couple of days. So you will get the New World Order, business transformation paradigm, design your business, scale up your business, game changers mindset. And on top of it, I will also have a one-to-one session with you. It is called as the Strategic Leverage Breakthrough Session, SLBS, wherein we will have a one-to-one conversation. We will look at the blocks in your business and how those can be removed. If there are some additional tools, I will give those to you. If I need to get you connected to somebody, I'll do that as well. If there is some exercise that we need to do, we will do that as well. And this is something which is complimentary to you. I will not be charging for this. Normally, I would charge around 10,000 rupees for such a session. But just because you're participating with me, you will get one such session with me free. So the schedule looks something like this. The first session will be on 5th of September, which is next Tuesday. Today we are on Thursday, so next Tuesday. The second session will be on 12th, the third one on 19th, fourth on 26th. Scale up your business will be on 26th, and game changers mindset will happen on 3rd of October. Though as of now, I have put the time as 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. In all likelihood, we will have it in the evening. 6:30, it'll start at 6:30 or 7 o'clock based on the people who confirmed. Accordingly, we'll plan it. As of now, the response has been that evening is a better time, and we'll go by that. And here on top of these sessions, there will be a one-to-one SLBS, strategic lead through strategic leverage breakthrough session with you. All right. And there is a gift for you, which is the book called Golf Mastering Business Success. You can please write to me and I'll share the book with you. So any questions? You may please make the note of my number, the same number on which I'm operating with WhatsApp. You can make the payment there. Hanji. So Ajish, how is it for you now?
Actually, I'm working. Actually, my office hours starts from 12 to now.
Okay. So what if we have a session? So we can work separately on this for a schedule which works for you. Does that make sense? So we could create another cohort. But the first piece is, do you want to participate?
I need some time.
Okay, fair enough. And Akhilesh, how about you?
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful.
हाँ जी.
बट पार्टिसिपेशन में थोड़ा सा सोचेंगे सर, सोच के फिर आपसे कनेक्ट करेंगे.
ठीक है, तो कब तक सोचेंगे आप?
बताऊंगा सर आपको जैसे भी.
कब तक बात की जाए?